So far in our decimal multiplication lessons, we've learned how to multiply whole numbers by decimals. We've learned how to multiply decimals that have a value in the tenths place by another decimal that has a value in the tenths place. And today what we're going to talk about is multiplying decimals that have values in the hundredths place. Okay, so what you want to write on your table of contents or at the top of your page in your math notebook is multiplying by hundredths. Multiplying by hundredths. And I just want us to sketch out a quick place value chart. So here I have the tens, that's the whole number, have the ones, my decimal lies right here. Beside that one, the ones place, I have the tenths, I have the hundredths, and I have the thousandths. Okay, and I just want to go over some place value concepts that we've discussed. Okay, I know that when I move to the left on my place value chart, equals larger, my value gets larger, my numbers get larger. I know that when I move to the left, it's each place value is times another power of 10. So for instance, if I have 8 times 10, that equals 80. My 8 was originally here in the ones place. When I multiply it by 10, I move my 8 to the tens place and I get 80 or 80. I know that if I have 8 times 100, I get 800. So my 8 starts in the ones place and it moves 2 place values over to the hundreds place. Okay, so I know when I move numbers left, they increase by powers of 10 or multiplying by powers of 10. Okay, I also know on the opposite end of that, if I move right on my place value chart, my numbers or my values get smaller. Okay, if my values get smaller when I move right on my place value chart, that means I'm almost dividing by 10 or I'm multiplying by 1/10. Remember we talked about this as a fraction earlier. I'm multiplying by 1/10 or multiplying by 1/10. Same thing as dividing by 10. And I know 8 times 1/10 equals 8 tenths. So if I have the 8 wholes here and I multiply it by 1/10, then the 8 moves over to the tenths place. Okay. I know that if I have 8 times 100th, it equals 8 hundredths. Because now I've multiplied by not just 1/10, I've multiplied by 100th. So it has to move over 2 place values. Okay. So remember, right gets smaller. When I multiply by a decimal, my product always gets smaller. It moves right on the place value chart. Okay, this is the big part that we need to focus on. Okay, when I move right on my place value chart, my value always gets smaller, and that means I'm multiplying by decimals or by fractions. Okay, so the first thing I kind of want to look at are some problems where I'm taking a whole number and multiplying them by 100th. Okay, so we're going to move on down. Let's say I have 100 times 100th. Okay, that's saying that I have 100 little pieces. I have 100 little circles. Okay. I have 100th 100 times. And I know that if I look at a place value block, one of my flats, one of my blocks, if I break it down into little pieces, it ends up having, and that's not accurate exactly, but this thing has 100 little hundredths. So that means 100 times 100th is actually 1 whole. Yes, ma'am. I'm doing a math video. Would you like for me to pick up the phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.